Today I want to show you how I make my River Tumbler. It's a wood grain with a water swag going across. And first thing you do is you want to prep your tumbler with Rust-Oleum 2X white. You can use glossy, or I don't think the sheen really matters, but you do not want to use the iron lac spray paint. The inks do not react the same. So I have some chip brushes here, and I'm going to use two of my favorite browns from Black Bear inks, Chocolate Cosmos and Brown Eyed Susan. You can use 2, 3, 1 color, whatever you like. So I'm just going to pick one. Doesn't matter, I have two brushes to kind of keep them separate. You want to protect your surface really well. These colors are going to kind of spray across the table, so do not have any cups near you or you will be sorry. So you just put a strip of ink and just scrub it and back and forth. Then I just skip a spot and go again. Just gives sort of a two-tone kind of wood effect. So you just keep going, work your way around the tumbler. You can add knots if you like. I'm not going to go over how to make knots, but you definitely can do that. At the bottom. Whoops, you don't want drips. Try to avoid drips. And you just swipe, swipe, swipe till it's dry. Alright, now we're going to go in with the next color. This one is the Brown Eyed Susan. It doesn't matter which one you go with first or last. Doesn't matter at all. Just getting a different kind of tone. I'll finish the bottom in a minute. So the scrubbing moves the ink all around, and then the up and down gives the texture. That's why we use a chip brush. You get really good scratchy texture. These are probably over a year-old chip brushes here that I have used over and over and over and over and over. Get the bottom. Go easy on the bottom. You don't want it to drip off and run down the sides. Oops, sorry. You'll end up with drippies. You don't want that. So that is how simple it is to make a wood grain. Now with these Black Bear inks, I am able to epoxy within like an hour or so. Just let these dry a little bit and then epoxy. I don't have to seal them. I don't have to wait a day, nothing. I can go straight into epoxy. They don't like blend out or anything. So I will let that sit, and then this is how it looks after one coat of epoxy. Okay, I did put a knot in the bottom of this, but it's not necessary. Just kind of cute. Someone wanted to see how to do that, so. Okay, so I'm going to get this all set up and we're going to do our swag. I'm going to spray paint a white area and I will show you how we do that. Be right back. Alright, so here it is spray painted. I just, sprayed in a swirling fashion some white. I don't necessarily need it on the bottom, and I don't like the overspray, so I take just some alcohol. You do not need acetone for this, because we're just going to clean up any of the overspray we don't like. That's why I do epoxy between the wood grain and then the swirl. I've done it without. I like being able to control the overspray though, so I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Acetone removes a lot of paint, all the paint, where alcohol removes overspray. You'd have to scrub really hard in order to remove all the paint. Alright, and then make sure the bottom looks the way I want. I want to feather it a little, just lightly go over. I think it's good. Alright. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix, this is a 35 ounce tumbler, so I'm going to mix probably 45 mLs of fast set epoxy, and then we're going to go in and drop our ink strategically, and then we're going to make it move, and then we're done. One more coat after this one, that will make 3, and we should be all set. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to add our epoxy here. I'm going to get pretty heavy with epoxy, at least as many mLs as I have ounces of the cup. So this is a 35, I at least want 35 mLs of epoxy on here. Now, like I said, this is a fast set. This is KS resin, liquidy split, ultra UV. They say 15 minutes work time. I don't know if it's 2 or 4 hours to cure, and then 24 for complete curing. Forgive my weird way of applying this epoxy. I'm at an angle that I don't normally go at. Okay, so you're going to want to pull out your blues, maybe a little bit of teal colors of inks. I am again going to be using Black Bear inks. You can use your favorite inks, whatever you like. Especially in the swag, you want that to have good movement. Scooping off the bottom. We don't want a lot of epoxy on the bottom, or you end up with wobbly bottomed cups. And these 35s are pretty bad for that because they're kind of narrow at the bottom, it seems. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Alright. Here we go. So we're going to drop blues. And we want to drop them strategically, right? We don't want them going whoosh. So let's spin the other direction. So I'm going to drop like here. I'm going to drop at the top so it runs down. You can also just tap and get smaller amounts of that color. Okay, so that was Bachelor Buttons. Let's go with Placilia. Paying attention to where we're dropping, how much we drop. Let's go Jade Vine. I'm just picking blues. Like I don't have like a set colors of blues that I use. I do whatever I feel at the moment. And then let's do Ixia. Okay. I think that's good for our blues. I'm going to drop some white. You can use Pinata Blanca Blanco, or you can use Black Bear's Calla Lily. I'm going to do some Pinata. Now we are going to make it move. So I have my heat gun. I'm gonna probably take it off of the turner so that I can hand manipulate it. I'm gonna go, sorry, high heat at first, and then we're gonna cool it down. Of a handle here to hold on to with this big of a tumbler. I'm trying to get this drip to run back over. It's just kind of a bunch of manipulating of the cup, tipping, trying to show and to do at the same time. Let me stick it back on the turner. I got a big old. Back on the turner. I'm going to come over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to move it with just air, and we're going to just move the waves kind of around. Okay, I have it as cool as I can get it. And I'm just going to blow. see the white is all covered up. You want some to kind of spill out over the wood grain. Keep working it till you get it the way you want it. And heat it up a little bit. Okay, I see a tiny rappel I want to get rid of. So I'm going to grab a gloved finger. We're going to get rid of that little rappel. Can you guys see it? It's like, it's coming around, so I'm going to dip my finger in some epoxy here. And I'm going to go right there. There we go. Done. Alright, so all this needs to do, I don't need to torch it, I don't need to do anything special. All that heat we just did there, it's not going to have any bubbles. That was plenty of heat to kind of get rid of them all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my turner. In about 2 hours, it's done, ready for its final coat. So that is how simple they are. I hope you guys give them a try. And I also have a Patreon group where I teach tumbler making, things like this. I did this in a red, white, and blue kind of a design. And that is a tutorial that is in my Patreon group. I will link that in the description below. It's just Pine and Feathers on Patreon. It is $15 a month. That helps for me for my supplies, and to, you know, it covers the time and supplies and stuff. It does charge on the day you sign up and the 15th of the month, or on the 1st of the month thereafter. So if you'd like to see more tutorials like this, hop on over there and subscribe. Any of the patterns, glitter patterns that I've made are available on there to everybody. At no cost, no additional cost. When you do sign up, you have access to all the videos that I have made for the past year, or however long I've been doing that. I think it's been almost a year. So that's a lot of videos there. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you over on Patreon. Bye guys.